So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the SUMIF and SUMIFS formula inside of your spreadsheet. So we're going to do two different versions. We're going to do the singular, and then we're going to do the plural version of it. And so if you're wondering what the SUMIF formula is, it's allowing you to sum up numbers based off of different conditions. So the example here that we're going to do, we have our expense log, and then we have our expense summary. And let's say I want to sum up the amount I've spent for each category. I can easily do that, as well as we're going to do a plural version where we're going to sum up the amount as long as it's been paid off. So as long as it's been checked off. Now, there are some other ways that you can use this. You could do total spending for a category in a month. So if you want to see the total amount, the sum if it's a specific month, you could totally do that. If you want to do total income for one product, so this is a great way, especially if you're tracking how much money each product is making, you can sum up all of your income based off of what product is making how much. So it's a really cool thing you could do. You could do total hours worked on a client project. So if you're tracking all your different hours all in one spreadsheet, but you want to summarize it and just see the sum of a specific project, you can use the SUMIF formula for that. If you want to do total savings contributions for a goal, you could do that as well. And then monthly totals filtered by a drop down. So you can do lots of different options. These aren't the only ones. There's so many things you can use, but it's basically if you want to sum if you want to sum a number based off of a condition. And so that's what we're going to do now. So like I said, let me just move my head out of the way. We've got our expense log over here, and we've got our expense summary, and I want to see how much I've spent for each category. So I'm going to select the cell where I want to input this formula, and I'm going to do equals sum if, and then you can either put your left bracket or you could just select it. And let's see what it's asking for us. So it's asking for a range. So the first thing is we want to select the range of where we want that condition to be found. So again, it's not the range of where we're summing. We don't need the amount yet. We want to find out what that condition is. So if I'm basing it off of my category, I'm going to select the range of cells that has my category in them. So I've selected my range. I'm going to lock those in because I'm locking them in because I'm going to copy this formula down for all my different categories. And that just means that the range stays the same, even though I'm copying my formula to other areas later on. So to lock it in, you can use F4 on your keyboard. And I'm going to put a comma. So I have that range. This is where we're going to find it. Now it's asking me what criteria is. So I wanted to find category 1. So there's two different ways I could do this. I can either select a cell that has that word in it, which is right here. So I could just select that and it gives me a cell reference and I can use that. Or I could put in quotation marks and type out the actual word itself. So I could put category 1, you just need to make sure it is spelled exactly the same and has all the same grammar. So if there's a space in between your category and the 1, you need to make sure that space is still there. Otherwise, it won't count it up. So I could just do this and then put my right bracket and hit enter, and it will sum up if anything is in category 1. Oh, no, I didn't finish it. Sorry, it's not summing it up. I forgot to sum it up. There we go. So we want to put our sum range in here. So we've got our category here, we've got our comma, and then we're going to select the range because obviously we have to select the range where we're going to sum it, otherwise it can't sum. It's going to be a 0. So we need to make sure we put that in there because it is the same range of cells I'm always going to be referencing. I'm going to lock that in by using F4 on my keyboard. And that just means when I copy down my formula to the rest of the different categories, it will keep that same range. It won't change it. So as you can see, we've got our range of cells where we are finding that specific condition, which is category 1. So we've got that range where our categories is. We've got the name of category 1. And then we are selecting the range of cells that we are actually summing. And then we have our right bracket. You can hit enter and you can see it's showing $230. Well, let me just put in some currency there. There we go. And it's showing the sum of that. So anything that has a category 1, so we've got $90 there, we've got 90 there, as well as we've got 50 there. So it's showing $230. So it's summing it up for us, making our lives a lot easier. Now, because how I've set this up, if I bring this all the way down, it's not going to automatically update because I've written in category 1 here. So I could copy down that formula, but now I'm going to have to go to each formula and update it based off of the new category. So then I would write category 2, category 3, I would have to update. So I have to go into each formula and do that, which is a little bit of pain in the butt, and which is why I actually prefer to reference a cell versus typing in the actual condition. So here we've written in category 1 in quotation marks. I'm going to delete that out and I'm going to reference this cell instead. And so remember, I've locked my ranges because these ranges never change, but I'm going to leave this cell reference just without a lock, without those dollar signs in there, because what I want to do now is I hit enter, I can drag that formula down and it's automatically going to update based off of the new category name for me. So I'm just going to cancel autofill for a second. You could do autofill if you want, but I just want to show you because it makes life a lot easier. It's still referencing this, but it's now, as I pull this down, it will automatically update showing the different categories. So there's got category 2 has 240, category 3 has 260. And when we select these cells to look at our formula, you can see it's automatically updated this cell reference where we're referencing the name of the category, but it hasn't updated these because we want to lock in those ranges. We want to keep those exactly the same. So it's automatically updated, makes life easier. I might just have to update my formatting because it copied over my formatting. So I might just have to adjust my lovely formatting here, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens. Where's my, let's just update that quickly. There we go. So now we make it look nice, but it makes life easier when I could just copy that down and it automatically is flexible and adjusts to the different category names. So if I change this category 3, for example, you can see it's 260. If I change this one to category 1, you can see it's already taking away that amount because it's no longer category 3, it's now category 1, so it's added that amount over here. So it's just a super easy way to sum up all your different category amounts or whatever amounts you want to do, like total income for a product, whatnot. So we're getting very specific on why we're summing something up. So we're not just summing up the entire amount, which gives us our total amount for how much money we spend. We're summing up based off of a condition. So whether it's your category, your month, your specific product name, you could do this for a lot of different things. So now that we've done that, let's actually go back. I'm going to delete those out, and now we're going to do count ifs. So this is the multiple version of it. So this is saying, hey, I want more than one condition and I want to sum it up based off of those conditions. So we're going to do it where if the category is met as well as the item has been paid for. So as long as this little check mark has been checked, then I want it to sum it up that amount. Okay. So we're going into our cell. I'm going to do equals sum ifs. So remember, we're doing plural here. Then I'm going to select the range. So here, let's just take a look what it's saying. So we're going to do our sum range. So this one's it's set up a little bit differently than before, because remember, we did the sum range last when we did sum ifs. So if we do sum if, you can see we did our range first, then our criterion, then the sum range. But for sum ifs, we're doing our sum range first. So we're selecting, and that's sometimes why I forget to add in the sum range, because I'm so used to doing sum ifs versus sum if. Yeah, you just got to pay attention to that. So always, if you can't see this little pop-up, click on the question mark and then it will pop up for you and show you exactly how you need to write things. So again, we're just going to select the sum range. So I'm going to select my range here. I'm going to lock it in with my F4 because that sum range will never change. Then I'm going to do our comma. It's going to ask me my criteria range. So this is for the first one. So we're going to base it off of the category. So I'm going to select my category range. And again, I'm just going to lock it in with F4. Then it's going to ask us our criterion based off of the first criteria range. So I'm going to select my category name here. So I'm just doing the cell reference, but you can also just put it in like text, the word in quotation marks if you want. Now I'm going to put a comma. It's going to ask me my second criteria range. So I'm going to select my range of cells that has my checkboxes in it for my paid. So I'm just going to make sure I lock that in because again, that will never change. And then I'm going to do comma. And now this is what my criterion is based off of for my second criteria range. And so when a checkbox is checked off, it just means it's true. If it's not checked off, it's false. So here I'm just going to put in true. and then my right bracket. So anytime that expense matches my category and it is checked off, it's been paid, it will sum up that amount. So I'm going to hit enter and it's going to show only $90 in category 1. So remember before we had 200 and something dollars when we just did SUMIF because it only had it based off of the category. But now because we are looking for the sums that match the category as well as it has been paid, it's been checked off, it's only going to show those. So if I go look at category 1, I have one here that's not paid off, I have one here that's not paid off, and I have one here that's not paid off. So we only have 1 out of the 4 that are paid off. So as I check it off, if you watch this amount here, I'm going to go check off one of them. You can see it automatically updates. So I added in my $50 once it's been paid off. So now I can do the same thing for my next one. Where's my other one? There you go. So it automatically calculates based off of that. So now what I can do, because I made this cell, this is referencing my category name because I made it flexible. There's no dollar signs. It's not locked in. I can literally just drag down here and it'll automatically update based off of the category names. So if I change any of them, it automatically updates, everything works. I just now need to fix my formatting because my formatting copied over, which I mean, I have no problem with that. I just have to redo it, so that's fine. Let's just redo my lovely formatting to make it look pretty again. So I'm just changing out my borders so it's not all messy and it matches. So there you go. So that's how you can use the SUMIF or the SUMIFs in order to get very specific data. So it's a great thing to use. Play around, practice it. Just remember that the SUMIF and the SUMIFs formulas are set up differently because remember the SUMIF formula does the sum range at the end, whereas the SUMIFs formula does it at the beginning. So just pay attention to how it wants you to write the formula. So again, just double click in if you need to, and then select anywhere in there and this should pop up. If not, there's usually a question mark you can click on, but you can see exactly how it wants to be written so that it works properly. If you have any questions, let me know. Hey, if you're brand new to Google Sheets, you'll want to check out my free mini course, the Wild Heart Spreadsheet Academy. I'm going to link it below. This is completely free mini course that shows you the basics of Google Sheets. So it's going to up-level your skills as well as you get tutorials to create this really cute weekly planner, as well as a free custom GPT to help you come up with your first 5 spreadsheet ideas. So if you want to grab it, grab it. It's completely free. I'll link it below. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in there. Bye.